Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. My name is Fizz. Hopefully you enjoyed that beautiful intro cinematic right there for you guys of the Andrewsarchus building. That's right, we have a build video. I kind of got really inspired when we were doing the first trailer for filming for the Andrewsarchus for the official wildcard trailer showcase. So I made this pretty much right after we were done with it, and so this is a couple months. It's a couple months old, but this is the only time I could show it because obviously of the map's finally out and everything. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And I'm going to showcase and talking about my creative thoughts and process of making this Andrewsarchus stables building base. All right, so first thing first is the kind of inspiration and design and also making a circle. I really do like getting these circle builds in nowadays. I never was a really big fan of them until, I don't know, coming back to actually building stuff. Anyways, the inspiration I actually had for this was actually having it kind of dwarven. Now obviously in ARK we don't actually have dwarfs or anything, so that was kind of like obviously a little bit of a problem, but I still kind of was like, all right, I want to make it out of wood. I want to have definitely metal pieces showing and maybe stone. So that was kind of the idea process of actually making this. And also, if you've seen the Andrewsarchus saddle, it's a giant freaking damn turret. So obviously it kind of is going to fit. And I also didn't want this build to be just the stables. Originally it was going to be, but then I was like, when I was getting towards the back end of it, I really wanted to have an actual base with this. But anyways, first thing first, we make the circle. Second thing is we add the stone stuff area. We get rid of the middle area. And then now I'm lowering the stone foundations with the lowering stone foundation trick. Very simple. You just use a foundation and you put it through in the middle of a pillar, and you just keep going down with the different snap points, down until you get to roughly a point of where you want it to be. And then boom, because I wanted the gates to be lowered because it's such a small minute detail that I just did right there. The reasoning why I did that is because I wanted to have some wood showing above the gates just a little bit when we actually get to the roofing area. Right here I'm just trying to block out what kind of this building here, or by the way, I have the idea in my brain, but I don't have the actual like full finish like idea. Usually that's what happens with my builds. I get inspired by like a certain item or like a certain genre and I just go with it. I don't really do too much planning because I feel like naturally building stuff on the go is probably the most creative you could ever be, because if you start planning everything out, you get into the points where it's not feasible in ARK, or it's just not going to look good in ARK. So my motive for always building in ARK is just go with the flow, just start building from your base idea and then moving forward. Next we're going to work on is the circle area. So I got rid of the entranceway circles, and basically I wanted to have this kind of like a horseshoe. Now the original idea I had, actually I was going to actually have multiple, see, this is why I don't plan ahead too much. I was gonna have multiple stables connecting to this horseshoe circle, but I figured this would look a little bit better because that way you can, like, you know, for a story like for me, right, I made the story in my head that the people that live at this base would bring the Andrewsarchus into the middle of the horseshoe, and that's how they would reload the ammunition on it to be set back out to war. You know, obviously this isn't a PvP base, but that was just like a base story I was thinking in my head, like how people would be using this base, you know. Now we're just going through, we're adding some roofing here. I'm trying to figure out what kind of the best situation is. We're gonna come back to this right here because right here the ceilings and the walls that will be placed there later stick out. The roofing pieces stick out, and I'll do a little technique. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, continuing the roofing here, it's looking good. I do like how one of my favorite roofing pieces actually is metal. And the reasoning why is when you combine it like together like this, see how it's like kind of snapping into each other? It gives it so much detail, so much detail. I freaking love it. But yeah, now we're just combining this. I'm trying to combine the wood and stuff, and you can see in a minute I was talking about the roof piecing is going to be colliding with the metal right here. Here I'm trying to just figure out the different snap point. That's the better snap point right here. Boom. This metal piece is going to be sticking through. The wood, and I don't like that. I'm gonna fix that when we come back to this in a second. But yeah. I finished the roofing circle off, and now I'm going to start working on this back area. Now, this back area, I'll be real, I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to now add a building to this building, right? So I kind of took a break after setting up some foundation and went back to the horseshoe. I tried adding catwalks as well. It didn't look good. I think that it looked better open, in my honest opinion. So just deleting the catwalks again. But we're adding some wooden roofs now underneath just to add some more detail and stuff. And I could have left these windows like open and stuff to not have greenhouse, but I feel like the greenhouse would look good. And once again, we add a beach. I don't show this here, but we added the area for the Andrewsarchus here. This is what I'm talking about. So I was deleting all these walls, and I'm bringing them forward just with a couple snap points. By the way, this is not modded. This is all vanilla. You could build this in vanilla. Nothing's modded here. There's no mods, nothing. The only thing that's different is that this was on a trailer build, which was not the official build, obviously, but it doesn't matter because it's the same game. It's just for filming stuff, you know, for the official wildcard trailers. But anyways, I'm bringing them forward so that way the snap points of the roofs don't show. See right there? Boom, gone. Solves that problem. It looks fantastic. Okay, so I finally kind of went through my brain and kind of finally decided on what the design's gonna be. I actually do not believe I have the last bit of this build recorded because we were doing reshoots for the boar, and I honestly forgot to start recording after I came back from filming. That's just my bad, but you know what it is. It is what it is. But anyways, so this back area is going to be a mixture between a storage area, living quarters, crafting area, and that's basically it. I was like, oh, do I need like a breeding area? No, they could just do it out in the front, you know, super simple. Adding a little porch here. I love this little porch, and the reasoning why I like it is, see how it's down like about I don't know, it's just down 2 foundations area, and it just adds a lot of detail for when I put the roof on. So look at the roof in a second. It makes it so like cute and quaint, and it's so adorable. I love it, I don't know why, it just adds a lot of little detail right here when the roof is there to when you walk underneath it. But yeah, we're just doing that. And at this point too, I was also thinking about, you can see that there's no back walls yet for this building. I was actually really debating about doing another circle, and I was like, man, it'd be really cool if it's circular in the back, right? But I was like, man, I don't know. Oh, and here's the piece. This is what I'm talking about. See how it's just down like just so slightly? It's just down by an inch, that you can see some wood above it, so that way it's not connecting up. It looks so good. And then and then we go back to the back now. Yeah, I decided I was gonna make it circle. I don't know why. So the only problem with this, right? So you'll see in a second where this is actually too tall, and I actually have to do the lower foundation trick again to lower it. Now, obviously, connecting a circle into a square, it's not terribly that hard to do. But obviously there was a lot of problems like this. The square is a lot lower than the circle, and so I had to lower each one of these stone foundations again to make sure it collides with that, and then also combining. Luckily, I did everything right and everything lines up. So and also, here's a good tidbit: when you're doing circles, never destroy your middle one until you're 100% done. Because if I accidentally if I accidentally deleted one of these foundations, I could have I would have to redo the whole circle again, because there's no other way to make it, you know. So just a tidbit right there. But yeah, I'm lowering the foundations, and then after that they all line up. Obviously, like I was saying, like connecting a circle and a square is not terribly hard. Right here, it's it got super lucky. I'll be real. It just absolutely was in the same snap points and everything, so that way the walls look the same. There's a lot of times when you're trying to combine a circle with a square, rectangle, whatever, it never looks good because the circular technique versus the squares never always line up. So, you know, just be aware on that when you're trying to do circles and squares or rectangles connecting into each other. It's just kind of difficult. I'm adding another porch here. I'll be real, I couldn't think of what else to add here. I was thinking like maybe we'll add beer or something, I don't know. You know, dwarven stuff. I didn't even make a beer thing. Now that I realize that, I should have probably added more beer if I was doing this on the dwarven. Oh, shit. I have a question for you guys. Do you guys want me to do actually some more build videos? Leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear that. I know that I haven't been building, honestly, for that long anymore. It's been a couple of years, right? So I do have the creative bug with all this stuff, so please tell me if you want me to continue building some random builds. But anyways, back into this. So we're adding some greenhouse because we don't have wildcard, Jat, Sexy. Actually, it's not even them. Where's my other glass tier, huh? We're never getting it. I wish we did. We're never getting it though. Anyways, we're adding greenhouse for windows because that's the only thing we have. They still work, so it's fine. Then we're adding some more roofs. We're gonna copy the horseshoe once again because, well, it looked so good before, and it looks damn good. Look at that. Look at that. We're adding some pillars there. We're gonna add some more supports. Now, I like to use pillars to indicate like obviously the structure is ending, and also like for walls specifically, like if you see right there, you see how the wood wall is very it's very messy. It's very messy and I don't like it. A pillar is just so good to add that extra detail to actually smooth out the wall structure, so that way when it's ending for the build, it just looks like it flows a lot better. Obviously, you can't put pillars all the time, and maybe sometimes pillars are too much, but for the most part, I try to add a pillar because it just looks really good in my honest opinion. So here we have is the stairs. Now, this actually changed quite a bit. I'm trying to figure out like how the structure is going to look for the stairs, and I think I even change it this is just kind of my whole creative mode. I think I change it again after this as well. But basically, we're kind of doing a area where there will be like, what is it even called? A balcony, I guess it's called. I guess it's called a balcony. So there's a rest area for you to look out onto the base, right? And we're also using stone wooden double doors supports. Honestly, I hate these things. These have like 3 or 4 different snap points going up and down. And honestly, the only time I've ever gotten them to work properly is like snapping a ceiling underneath or above them, so that way they actually are flush. They're really weird. I'm not a big fan of these, I'll be real, but they do add a lot of cool detail in here. And right here is a really good example where I actually have a ceiling underneath it, and then I also have a ceiling above. The ceiling above is where the door frames are actually being snapped to, and then we have the fence railings. The wooden railings are snapping underneath those, so that way you can have a multi-snapping point area right there. And right now, I feel like, in my mind, this is looking really good, but I think I change it. I don't know if I change it for the video, but I get rid of one side of the ramps because I feel like it's just a little too big. And then last little bit right here is adding greenhouse. Why? Add more light. Basically, just add more light, because honestly, the only lighting you have in this game is omniculate. Nothing wrong with that. Tech lights are absolutely garbage because they don't change. They're just bright all the time. They're not good. Tech lights are not good. They are really bad. They're never gonna fix those either. But anyway, so this part right here, so this is I'm leaving this in here because I can just talk about my creative thing. It doesn't look like any like this. So this is my kind of Bosch first creative attempt right here of trying to build this. And I was trying to do like, oh, maybe this is like a peak, you know, like a strong peak. This could look good, but it's not the build I was kind of looking for. It's not what I was looking for this actual build, because this could look good in another different build that I wanted, but it's not what I wanted. I wanted it to be kind of an actual flatter roof, so that way it gives it more, you know, industrialized feeling and more for the pigs and stuff. Because if you look at the stables on the left and right, they actually have a flat roof. They have a ramped back, but then the rest of it is flat on the tippity top. And right here, I'm trying something different. I'll be real, I don't know why. I was like, I don't know. It looked like a school at this point when you finish building this part right here. This is still not what it's supposed to look like. Like I said, I don't have any of the footage because I forgot to hit record. But yeah, this is it looks like a school, in my honest opinion. It just looks bad. It just looks so bad. But I mean, like, it's not okay. It looks bad, right? But you could use it for a different build if you wanted to. But it reminded me of a school, and I like completely destroy it after I was done with it, because I just didn't like it. But anyways, we're adding wooden double door frames again for support beams because they're small. We're adding some actual pillars to give some more metal feels to that. I hate these triangle pieces, man. These triangle pieces snap points are absolutely terrible. I try to stay away from them as much as possible. I'll be 100% real. But anyways, this back part and the sides is actually gonna be the final version, but the front is gonna be completely changed. Actually, I think the back is raised up one. I don't remember at all. But anyways, we're adding some windows in the walls. Yeah. So this is all the same kind of on the final version, but just a little bit different here. And we're adding windows up there, and it's looking pretty good, except for this front church thing. I mean, if you wanted to make a church, feel free. You know, this could be this could be it. Right now, I'm going through my brain. I'm trying to like figure out how this is actually gonna look, and I'm like, oh, this looks, you know, not bad. No, I hate it. I'm gonna make it taller. I figured making it taller was the way to do it. Nope. See, it gives it such a church feel. I don't know why. And I was like, all right, let's add a roof point. Let's see how this is gonna look. So I was like, all right, let's add the greenhouse walls back just to see if I like that, you know, for the windows. Okay, it's okay. This is basically my brain, by the way, right? When I'm actually filming this and recording this, I'm like, all right, this is looking okay. All right, that snap point is terrible. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks like a church. Do I like this? At this point, I was like, maybe. You know, like I've said multiple times, always building something the first go around is never going to be perfect unless you have built it multiple times. So that's kind of what was happening here. And once again, I tried adding a peak to figure out if I want this to look like this. And I'll be real, I was basically at this point, I was like, man, you know, this is not it. But anyways, that's it for the video pretty much. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe and follow. And I do have plenty more builds coming out. We have the bat video I have coming out next for their little base, and then the Fjordur will be after that, and then after that will be the Fenrir building. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on the next one.